Might have to unmute yourself. If you have a question, I don't know. Does anyone have a question?
I have a question, Stuart. Would you speak about the importance of persistence in our work?
The importance of what?
Persistence.
Persistence.
Yes.
Well, you don't accomplish anything in life unless you have persistence. Persistence costs energy, it costs time. You have to have patience. You have to allow yourself to mature inside to the point where you get the full teachings of what goes on in this meditation. And that takes persistence, takes ambition. It takes a true need inside a human being to have a spiritual life. And without persistence, it's never going to happen. So I think, it's a very important element in not only in what I teach, but literally in anything you want to do in life.
Mm.
I mean, if you want to go to school, you got to have persistence. You got to graduate. If you don't spend enough time there doing the work that you have to do, you will never graduate. If you want to run a business, boy, you need persistence to run a business. And everything in life teaches this. Do people really learn it when it comes to inner work? I would say most people don't. They want it on a platter. They want a pill that will enlighten them in 2 days.
Mm.
They want something that it's impossible to get unless they have persistence doing inner work to truly build a pathway to God. So I mean, nobody's entitled to enlightenment. Everybody should be entitled to enlightenment, but the very nature of how energy works here, nobody's entitled. You've got to do the work. You've got to persist at what you learn and do the work. That will bring a state of enlightenment. I always say it's human beings' covenant with God to come here and develop a system inside that enables them to transform suffering, pain, difficulty, and probably more than anything else, illusion. Illusion. We are afflicted by illusion literally 20 hours a day. Maybe we're not when we sleep. Into a spiritual life. That takes persistence. And without it, you drown in illusion, you drown in so many elements of this world that we come here to learn how to transform them. And until we learn how to transform them, we come here to keep doing it and undergoing enormous suffering in the process of learning ultimately how to transform all these things into love, gratitude, connection with God.
Mm.
I hope that's clear. Am I talking in English here? Tell me, because I just got to confirm your language. Am I talking in English here?
Yes.
Confirm your language. Are you talking? I'm not speaking in tongues, but sometimes what I talk about is like talking in tongues.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. And ultimately, the one person on the planet Earth you truly have to have patience with and persistence with is yourself. We are masters at negating everything. We are masters of being lazy, not wanting to do it,
Mm.
finding a million reasons why we shouldn't do it. We're really good at that.
Mm.
And that is the part of us that needs to be overcome. And that takes time and transforming old habits and ways of thinking and what's coming to us and who we think we are or we're not, and et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. Does anyone else have a question? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, look, we're here to enjoy life. We're here to be happy people. And if we don't approach inner work with persistence, that state of happiness will never come. We can turn ourselves on, with buying a new shirt, a dress, a pair of shoes, going to a movie, going to a theater. Yeah, but does it last? It'll only last if we have enough persistence to build a system inside, that connects us with higher energy and allows it to last. Does anyone else have a question? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying people shouldn't go to the movies. They shouldn't go to the theater. They shouldn't go out and have dinner and enjoy life, enjoy the things that life really affords us to. And we should all enjoy everything in life.
Mm.
What I'm really saying is that all of these things are there for our enjoyment, but they're not God. And people transform them into God. Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, this is Jan. I have a question.
Yes, John.
Where does the will to persist come from my brain? Like where do I go for the will?
John, it comes from one place, your need inside, your hunger for a spiritual life. That's where it comes from. And that's not something you can manufacture in your brain. Yeah, you can think about it and analyze it and figure it out. It'll make you crazy. But something in you has to need a spiritual life more than all of the other things that manifest in your life. That's where it comes from.
Mm.
Something in you that's hungry. When you're hungry, you eat food, something in you that's hungry to have a spiritual life, that really needs it. That's where it comes from. And then you have the will, we all have will to make it happen. Internalizing the mind, internalizing the breath, feeling gratitude, getting grounded inside, centered. All of this has, it doesn't work when the mind gets involved, but it does work when we use the craft of meditation to develop it inside ourselves. Need. That's where, when you really need to have a spirit, you will persist. There's nothing in the world that will keep you from doing it when you need to do it. If you don't need to do it, there's a million reasons why. I got a date, I got a party, I have jet lag, I have this, I have that, I got this, I got something other, there's always something. But if the need is real, it doesn't matter what the hell you have, you will get the energy, what you need in order to grow spiritually. And this isn't this isn't fanatical, it's very pragmatic, practical. A refrigerator needs electricity to run. People need Shakti, they need spiritual energy in order to run their lives.
Thank you, Stuart. That really helped.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? No, well, I just have two announcements to make. One is that there'll be no class next Monday. Every 8 or 10 weeks, I have to go get this eye procedure done. And next Monday is my my day with the doctor. So when I do this, I can't have a meditation. There's so much irritation in the eye that I can't do it. And then a week after that, I think we're having a retreat here. Yeah, I think it's that weekend. So there won't be meditation on that Sunday. The retreat. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, then there'll be meditation on Wednesday. And thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you, Stuart.
Take this whole class with you. Let it just really absorb inside. Thank you. Bless you all.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.